Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. I just want to make a quick video because the market's moving and things are picking back up, and so we're trying not to get like too excited and just start selling everything, but we are starting to look at like some reducing areas since I kind of heavily got into some buying power and using some margin whenever the market was extremely low at the start of the war, and um, just everything going on with economic tensions. So now that we're recouping some of that, I just wanted to go over some of the things that I'm thinking. So here on the futures, S&P 500 tab, it did jump a whole lot, and we are back above 7,000. So um, 7,000 range is kind of where we were topping out back in earlier this year, January into February, and it's gotten pretty straight up into that area. So we are reaching the where we were at a previous all-time high for sure. Me personally, I hit this, when I had to roll over contracts and hit this. We definitely uh, got the 2800, and I actually didn't video this, but we had um, gotten, I think, just maybe $200 over. It hit about 3,000, so I sold one contract of that. So now that we're hit break even on that, I'm gonna can delete that note, and we have two left. And really, there's two different ways that I look at this, that you could go about this, right? You could um, just kind of get under this with a stop sell, and if you're happy with your profit on this huge green run right here, you can get behind it with a stop sell and just go ahead and profit that. uh, because of all these previous tops that we've had, that kind of looks attractive to me. um, Another thing that you could do is just maybe put quantity one here if I have two, and then let the other one ride since expiration is way over here. But since we're up in the 7,000s, the way I look at it is it still has the chance for, something else to happen. Has the chance for Trump to go on the news and announce the next thing that he's trying to fear monger everybody into, and then boom, next thing you know, we're down here again. So if you look at this trade range previously, we were up then down, up then down. So you got to kind of consider this whole um, sort of this whole area here is sort of the range that we were trading in, a lot of volume. So we're topped out here, and it could be anywhere within here the next few months, all the way up until this expiration. So, or it could just obviously boom and keep going. So we never know, but what I'm going off of is the relative strength index is just about to 70. It's looking pretty high. So is MACD. So I'm pretty happy with this. Actually is kind of medium compared to the previous high would be like 96 up in there, and it's actually down in the 50s. So this actually might have a ways to go. You could always hold on to one in this situation. That would actually look pretty good. In my case, I think I like having the two here because of my EMA average. Um, let's show you drawings. EMA. My EMA exponential moving average is set at 50. So every 50 candles, which is currently days. So this is a 50-day moving average. So this was way below the 50-day moving average, and this is way above. And if you don't already know this, that the moving average typically, sort of the mindset is it kind of acts like a rubber band. So the further away that it gets from the moving average, typically it kind of wants to respond to that moving average or rebound to it, because that's the average, right? So whenever it's way down here, it kind of wants to rebound to it. When it's way up here, it kind of wants to rebound back downwards. So that's why I like having these go ahead and set here. This is only $600 over my break even, but I'm pretty happy with 600 in this case. And then if this wants to rebound back down to my EMA line here, then we'll just buy it again, right? So I typically, the daily is looking up there. The hourly is definitely just straight up. It's way up there. So you can see this extremely high RSI on the hourly, and the MACD is also, I just like to put a line here, as you can see, 25 on the MACD, and just compare that across the board, right? This is where we're at here, and how many times previously did we see that same number? And it's kind of rare. You want to look for the most rare ones, and that's a definite like buy or sell signal for me. So these down here that are super low, look, this happened once in a blue moon, a negative 53. When it hits that again, I want to buy that, because when you look at the price action that happened, when it hit that low of a number, boom, it reacted. Boom, it reacted. So that's what I like to go off of. So anyway, by the way, if you didn't know, on Robinhood Legends, you can grab this scale right here, and you can scale it down or scale it up. So it allows you to slide the chart. If you have this auto scale locked, you can't slide the chart, but up and down. So sometimes I like to just grab that and move it just a hair so that you can pull the chart up and down. Anyway, yeah, I don't want to put this right at, like 7,008, because it's going to get triggered pretty easily. I give it a little bit of room to breathe. And if you don't really want it to stop out, then obviously, give it more room to breathe, pull it down here. But I honestly think that these are high numbers here, and I'm okay if it stops out, and then we'll be grabbing it again at a lower price. So that's it for the futures tab. Sort of also looking at some stuff over here. I definitely will sell. I have 71, so I'll sell one here, getting close on this RSI to being a really strong market. Overbought condition. This is the previous highs, so I'm going off of that, and we're about to tag it. So yeah, if it hits if the S&P ETF over here hits, roughly 700, I need to get rid of some of these because, again, margin. So I'm just going to reduce a little bit of those, take a little bit of profit from it and let the rest continue to ride. Amazon also is getting way up there. Now, I forgot what that was the last time that I made a video, but I want to say it was just a couple hundred. So 248. Actually would like to go ahead and get behind this pretty quickly. It's not quite up to the top of the trend yet, so we might put in some more stops right in here. We want it to see it get to the top of these previous highs and even exceed that if at all possible. This is my futures. Nvidia is doing the same thing. So I do need to calculate, go look at my margin that, how much I'm currently borrowing to put into this, and then definitely want to reduce that number as these are reaching the tops. And then I don't mind keeping a little margin for future growth, but I was probably over 50% bought in and 50% of margin used, and I would like realistically to be down I don't have an exact number, but 25, maybe 20% of the margin used when the market is really strong. On all these RSIs are really strong. Um, I want to reduce that number on these stocks that are doing really well because that's just profit. At least I want to get under those with a stop loss to protect it, so we don't have to wait again for another big dip. We'll probably set something here since that's pretty topped out. Those are looking great, so pretty excited about that. And then we can go over to the ones that are not winners, and we can see that Microsoft is still, it looks like it's starting to turn, still struggling. So is Palantir. So Visa's coming around. It looks like it's turning a little bit. So we'll watch that hit break even eventually, as well as all these others. Broadcom is another one that I'm, going to be watching to see when I want to get behind it. But, partially it's the deciding factor is, how much margin am I using, and how much do I want to really reduce out of that. And another thing is like this area right here that we're monitoring, previous highs, we're really going, that's a strong indicator for me, to go off of that. And then but sort of the third thing that I'm going off of is how many shares or how much capital I have in that specific stock or ETF. So if I'm like way over, I kind of set like a little cap in my mind personally of like 5,000 per stock, because I've gotten over that. Say like for UPS, when I got excited when it got down in the low 100s, and kept buying in as it was getting lower, and now I've got a lot of UPS and I'm waiting for it to bounce back. So because of situations like that, I just told myself, okay, I want to do like sort of a hard cap or maybe a soft cap in my brain so that I won't continue. So 5,000 is that number for me. And then if I start to get way over that, obviously I want to reduce and pull that number back down a little bit. Like I said, that's kind of my third thing that I judge off of. So it's not like absolutely set in stone, but it's something that I keep in mind. Anyway, that's it for this video. I just wanted to share how I'm treating this situation, and sort of where we're going to pull out some profits to reduce our buying power and our margin, or to increase our buying power and to sort of reduce our margin back down below 50%, closer to, we're aiming to make more sales and profits to get closer to that sort of 25% range. That's mainly so that whenever other stocks hit a low RSI or a low, sort of a situation like this over here, okay, you have a certain percentage, you have a bulk of your margin available to buy with. Like you have to have, that set aside and ready to purchase with. And if you don't prepare for that on the top end, then you won't have it on the bottom end. So it's kind of a revolving circle. You got to buy when you're low and then sell when you're high, so that you have more, so that you can get back in when it gets low again. So that's sort of the mentality. Anyway, that's it for this video, and hope you found this helpful. Hopefully you can sort of apply these rules and hints to your own trading. And oh yeah, I was gonna show one last thing. Now that the market has pretty much recovered and like kind of surpassing, it says 3% today, which is excellent. We're currently at 8.8%. So I was happy with 5% in the first couple months. ecstatic with 8.8%. So that's showing me and showing you that, this is working, and we're just going to keep doing it. And if we can, beat S&P, let's see. Okay. Yeah. So I don't think there's like a great tool on Robinhood Legend for like total percentage for looking at the year or whatever. But if you pull up Robinhood on your on mobile and then hit year to date on there, it'll tell you, it'll obviously show you your chart, and then it'll show what the year to date is on the same exact stock that I have on the screen. So IVV, at this point, being 697, which matches here, it's 1.3%. So if you had, say bought into this in your 401k and you bought in here and you've been riding it this year, okay, and you're down here and you didn't do anything and you're just in the negative and then you just rode it back to here, you're up 1.33%. So people say, oh yeah, if you're getting out, started in stocks, just buy the S&P and that'll be fine. That's great, but the numbers don't lie. 1.33 versus what I've been doing is 8.8. So it's not worthless, and it is better, and we'll see what we can get in a year. So this is not a get rich quick plan. It's not going to be 50% in a year, maybe, probably not, but it's going to be better than just buying into the S&P and then watching it, because all you're doing at that point is watching the world go crazy back and forth and fight itself and not doing anything about it, and then it ends up wherever it's at, and you're either happy or not at the end of the year, instead of playing the system and doing something about it every time. So anyway, I'm done ranting. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have enjoyed this and you want to see equal improvement in your trading, and you enjoy like the swing trading style, please follow along for more tips. And that being said, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.